do a sign language.
Good afternoon, report Vice President Gary Ann, Cowlitz, and Mark Kelch has a guest today.
Hey. President Terry Ann, Cowlitz, and guest, a class mate from many years ago, went to St. Rose together, first through 8th grade.
Oh, wow.
Resident, and I think you're in the Spokane area these days. A former Lion who's a current Rotarian, who's visiting his mother. Bob Chamberlain.
Welcome, welcome. And then Penny should have a sunshine report for us.
President Carrie Ann Cowlitz and guests. First of all, Marilyn and Steve Patterson asked me to let you know that Steve is doing better and they are taking a vacation. So that's why they are not here today. And then I'm also reporting that Ken Botero is now on home hospice. And I did put a card back here. If you haven't already signed it, go ahead and sign it. That's it.
One more guest.
Okay, thank you. Do you know who brought her in?
We do.
Did you?
I do.
Did you? Okay, here you are.
We have one more guest. I believe this is Sula's mother-in-law, Cindy. Is that right? Yay! So Cindy, Mr. Rick Johnson would love to give you a personal tour of all of the squirrel bridges in Longview by himself this afternoon. Right on.
Right, yes.
Karen, walk home.
That's not going to work.
Yeah, somebody's walking.
Okay, let's just continue on the fun with our happy dollars.
Hey, let's go this way. So I do have to deliver a hat to a certain person. Here you go, sir. Okay, $50. All contributions greatly appreciated. Oh, well, past President Cheryl, would you like some?
Is that your dollar for not having lions here on?
Probably wasn't smart. Oh, I have a no.
It is the first Tuesday.
5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. We'll take them.
Okay.
There's my film show. This is actually a happy dollar.
Father-in-law.
I'm happy because I
Yes.
get to do another real quick recognition today.
President who?
Oh, President Carrie Ann.
Another dollar?
President Carrie Ann and other Lions and guests. You all probably know that Lion Jerry McCormick worked as a machine tender at Fiber for many years. But did you, he had a position, he was there, okay? But did you know that Jerry also used to have a boat? And he was a sailor, a yacht club kind of sailor, sailboat kind of sailor, not a Navy swabby. But, so here, Jerry, if it's in here, I think it is, I didn't eat it. Okay. Here, Jerry, for you, is a little snack. Some little chips, ahoy, cookies. To help you remember your sailing days.
Oh, boy. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, you, Lion Bob. Hey, Bob. Hey, Bob. Hey, Bob.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. I had a little visit with my cardiologist today. He said I'm fine, so I have to keep on being chairman of concessions. Somebody else must.
No.
4 more years. Thank you.
4 more years. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it's all that grease. Wow, it keeps it going. That's okay.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions, and yeah, I have a happy dollar because I'm happy to be here today. I've been doing, I don't know if y'all know, but I've been doing grandma duty on Tuesdays and Wednesdays to pick up the preschoolers from school and take them to daycare. I'm glad to be here today. I got a sad dollar because the reason I'm here today is my little buddy is sick, so he's home with Daddy, which is the best place.
Okay, line one.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, here's my happy $5.
What?
Where are I going?
$2.50?
Thank John Searing for helping run the camera while I was gone. All those videos have been processed and are on YouTube for your viewing pleasure.
And they work.
Also, I had a good time helping out with inspecting the Christmas lights, the big project that we've got coming up. The other final thing is yesterday I went in and donated blood again for the 28th time with Red Cross, and I have another 27 donations with Bloodworks Northwest, and I just wanted to mention that any of you could be heroes by donating also.
You got it.
Thank you. I kind of understand where the That's President. President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, following Bob's comment on cardiologists, I went and had blood work done. So, you know, if you're with Peace Health, you know, they rotate your doctors pretty much before you can see the next doctor you're referred to. So, my cholesterol levels have always been high. Well, after the accident in December, they took me off my statin. So I did blood work last week. And my brother happened to come visit me, and he has high cholesterol too. And he goes, "Holy cow, girl, you're a walking heart attack." So we'll see if I ever get that referral to the cardiologist, because my cholesterol's off the roof. On a happy dollar, I got the new blue book, and it has so many new recipes, 20 I believe. So watch out for the spring and summer. And I'm happy for Keith and Cheryl. They're going to be grandparents again, and I found out she's due on April 28th, and so we're all excited about that.
Wow.
Hey.
Spring baby, okay. Hello, past President George Wright.
President.
Why did I say that? I know better.
No, yeah.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions, yes, there's a $50 on my uniform. If there's a happy dollar, speaking of cardiologist, I had a good report from my doctor yesterday. It's always nice to get those. I was concerned that I was developing severe arthritis in my thumb. He said, "Don't worry, it's going to clear up." I've had about 14 patients come in just from clicking the mute button during the political ads.
Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, Councilman Chair Terry Woodruff.
Oh, that's fun.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, I got 3 happy dollars. The first one is Cougs are still in the top 25 of the nation.
Yes.
Even when they don't play a week. We went up there one. The other one is I finally got to play golf the first time in a week. Too darn rainy and stuff. At any rate,
Oh, week.
wife was happy to get me out of the house. And the last one is, it's a pleasure it's an honor to live in this fine country and be able to vote, and whether it turns out the way you want to or whichever vote. Right.
PCC Hall.
Thank you, Honorable Tail Twisters, President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. What Terry forgot to tell you, the Cougs are #1 in the Pac-12. Doesn't matter.
#1 in Washington.
When's the last time we've been #1 in the Pac-12? It's been in our lifetime. When we went to the Rose Bowl? Oh, okay. Yeah. So over the weekend, I had the pleasure of working in the Bellingham Central Lions concession stand, and I got to tell you, Bob, you got to eat your heart out. This thing, the city of Bellingham built it to the Lions specification. There are 2 windows, there are 4 cashiers, there are a whole back end and a front end, and it's really, really amazing. And their biggest problem right now is this weekend they have 4 soccer playoffs and 2 football playoffs. and they only have about 100 members. And there's a lot of them. And I got this cool little Bellingham Central Lions challenge coin, which is kind of cool.
We need a challenge coin.
I traded it for, I accepted the membership 1.5 challenge pin. What else am I happy about? Well, it's great always to see the sheriff here, because
Without a warrant.
this is the only, yeah, this is the only place most of us want to see you, Brad. It's nothing personal.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, Troy, on the other hand, it is personal.
Oh,
You're not gonna elaborate on that, you're just gonna stop
He's
there.
the one with the warrant, dude.
Handcuffs still fit, hell no.
Our guest has.
oh, yeah.
Wow.
I have, I'm gonna, President Carrie Ann Lyons and
Yes, yay.
I'm gonna give myself a penalty $1 for coming in late. I'm sorry. I drove from Sula's house. It's a little bit far. And then, but I have $4 happy because I'm here. And I, as a reporter, in my younger days, I went to many Alliance meetings. I know you guys do a lot of good work, so thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Tom, like, I remember the last thing, this was really bad. Oh, our other,
Yes.
Tom. Right in, Tom.
Well, first I want to thank Mark for inviting me here. I got happy luck for that. And John, another classmate of mine from St. Rose.
Wow.
Years and years.
It turned out okay?
They just happen to go to the other school.
Oh.
Party along instead of work for us. But,
No fighting, no fighting.
just like Mark said, I was a line for like 15 years in Pullman, because those guys got things done. So I moved to Liberty Lake and I asked everybody who does the most in Liberty Lake, who gets things done, and they said Rotary, so I ended up joining Rotary. And I heard that you guys do a lot here also.
All right.
Nothing but good things. Somebody said something about Christmas lights.
Wait.
Is that it? Yeah. Well, I was president of Winter Glow Spectacular in Liberty Lake. We light up Orchard Park, and it's just like the whole place up. Of course, everything I do is all volunteer stuff. I like volunteering. I might, if I'm around, because I'm helping my mom out. She's 93, lives on 20th still. If you got projects coming up, I'm a handyman. That's my profession. So, we'll go from there. I'll give out my number if anybody needs it.
Bob.
Yeah. Yeah, Bob. Hey, Bob. Hey, Bob. Rex. All right, another one of these alumni. There he is. You're past district governor. You're one of those PPGs. Yeah.
I am one of the has-beens. President Carrie Ann Fellow Lions and guests, my weekly 5 spot. Start off, first of all, last week I was kidnapped by mimes. They did unspeakable things to me. I know it's a growth. I had a better one, but I gotta wait till Steve Patterson comes back. Grandson Beckham did make the travel team that he was hoping for in basketball. Like me, he's pretty short, but he's, unlike me, he's talented, so Tom knows the background of that. They played 2 games on Saturday because they're a travel team. They didn't have their own schedule yet, so they played up a level and played some of the older kids. Walloped the first team and then had a really close game. They lost by 1 the second one, so pretty happy about that. Finally scheduled a beach trip. We had one scheduled in September that we had to cancel. Family stuff came up. Got one scheduled. Family stuff came up again this week, so we're debating canceling that one either, but we'll see how that goes. Last Friday, we were out on date night, and I got to, Ellen says, I think you know those people as we were leaving, and I look over and see Susan Chamberlain, Tom's mom and Tom, and it's been a while since we chatted, so it was really nice to visit and great to have you here today. It goes outside. Quote of the week, this time from Marcel Proust. I don't know how people are doing in their gratitude challenge from last week, but keep it up if you can. Write down 3 things every day that you're grateful for. This quote, Marcel Proust, let us be grateful to the people who make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our souls blossom.
Our visitor Tom.
One more happy one. So, I know your kids are all grown, but if you
President.
have grandkids that are baseball players, I give pitching lessons.
Oh.
I will guarantee success as long as they do what I say.
Obviously, you've never had kids.
He's a busy guy.
Lion. Great.
President Gary and Phil Lions guest, couple bucks a day. First one, Cindy. This Cindy. I got a text from Sula saying you'd be here today. They do have Lions clubs over in Hawaii. My happy dollar, George, this is kind of goes where you were talking about the mute button. I found out if I wanted to watch a program, what I do is I tape it. And I can go zip right through all those commercials. And I'm happier to hell today is the last day of this voting.
Right.
Yeah, now you get to see those ads where they're trying to sell you something you don't need. Yeah. Hello, Bruce. Good to see you. Hello, program chair.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we have a program.
President Carrie Ann, Phil Lyons, and guests, I was going to bring the treasurer sign up here, but it would have crowded my space a little too much.
Yeah, how many signs?
Yeah, how many do you need, right? So, you know, it's been a tumultuous couple of weeks, as it usually is in my life. There's always just this ebb and flow of stuff. But, you know, with the kids' visits 2 weekends ago, they both go up and end up changing their careers. After one visit with me, they both went up and quit their jobs. One's going to be a snowbird or a snow bunny, to, you know, teach snow lessons, skiing lessons. That's the word.
There you go.
And the other one's going to be a memory care expert. Okay. The ski instructor. Yes, exactly. There you go. And I'm sitting back and I'm going. I finally, as we were at the beach this weekend for a family celebration of life get together, I thought to myself, my God, I should have had them visit sooner. Because it could have saved a whole lot of grief over this summer when we wanted to do stuff. No, we got to work. No, we got to work. No, we got to work.
Yeah.
Anyway, great to see Lion Bruce here. I was actually in his backyard this weekend and failed to see him. So it's really great to see you, brother. Really great to see you. Oh, but this one's kind of a weird ad. If you like to go to Cannon Beach and you'd like to have a place by the ocean, the Tolovana Inn is like $116 a night, and it's really, really nice. Just say it out loud. Yeah, so, I mean, believe me, we live in hotel rooms a lot, Jerry and I, for some reason, mostly her work. We want to have your attention for this one, because this is your Lions dollars at work. From the member side, from the administration side, our one and only second VP, Rick, has a 30-inch metal sign up on Tenant Way. And we're getting the We Meet Here signs to go underneath it. For the first time in the 30 years that I've been in this club, we're actually going to have signs that point people to us. But great job, man. Great job. This guy's a closer, and that's what we need. One of the things that I'm going to ask of you in the coming months is, even though you are all super involved people, is to call one of the people on our membership list and get them out here. Get them back in the fold, helping us out, doing some more work. Because I got to tell you, Hey Bob's going to throw a challenge onto us, because we have people that want to like Tony Viterbo, he wants to cook 300 hamburgers in one shift, okay? And we gotta help him get there. That's what we gotta do. Thank you very much.
By the way, Pat was not paid for his testimonial.
That you know of.
That I know of. Are you?
Not that I know.
Oh.
Not that you know of either.
He hasn't received it yet
Not
anyway.
right.
Oh, yeah.
The checks
in the mail.
Checks in the
right?
mail, yeah.
President Carrie Ann.
Do you want me to use my
Oh, yeah,
microphone?
yeah, mine. Yeah.
So fellow Lions and guests, I gave $5 happy dollars, but one of those are sad, just on the status of my father-in-law. He's just not doing all that great. But the rest of the 4 is going to be an advertising dollar. As most of you know, I have become the new executive director for the Children's Justice and Advocacy Center. It is an amazing organization. I've been on the board for 9 years with, how long have you been on the board? For more than that, 10 years. And they do forensic interviews for abused children. I can't tell you, I've been there a month on the work side of things. I can't tell you what a fabulous, it's just amazing to me, amazing. But in that, we are doing a fundraiser, and we have, I've got a flyer up here. We'd love your support. The fundraiser, we really need to update some teen areas and make it a little bit more user-friendly in there. So we've got wreaths, we've got centerpieces, we've got a whole bunch of things. If you're interested, I've got order forms in the flyer up here. I'd love to see you guys after the meeting. And with that, we'll get the meeting started. Okay. All right. Mr. Pat Palmer, you are going to be up.
Thank you very much. President Carrie Ann. I'm going to do this just once because, wow.
There you go.
I'm so glad it's November 5th. Vote for me.
You look taller.
I do. I feel taller.
About time you grew up.
I don't know.
Should we just let them chat? Is that what? Yeah, fine. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the cool parts of my Lions experience has been being the chair of the program chair for November for going on 20 years, I think. Huh, Larry? Something like that. I can be replaced easily. It's not a tough job. It's a real simple job. All you have to do is to make sure that you ask good people to come and talk to us about their jobs. If you have been a Lion for any amount of time, you know that I always want my friend the sheriff to be here. And for the last 8+ years, it's been this guy. It was 7+? 6? Is it really 6? God, it seems longer. It seems longer. Anyway, what can I say about Brad Thurman that hasn't been said before? Nothing at all. He's just a good guy. He runs a good outfit. He's got great people that report to him, and they all make us feel safe. And that's his job, and he does it well. Please welcome Sheriff Brad Thurman.
Days a year with Pat there. They're some of my 2 favorite days of the year. One is at the Justin DeRozier Golf Tournament every year. We sponsor a hole together and help raise some money. And because of stuff that happens there, he has some dirt on me, and he makes me show up one day in November because of that. We won't talk about what happens there, but it's for a good cause. And all I didn't know that Carrie had taken over at the Child Justice Advocacy Center. It's a great organization. They do a lot of good work. And one thing they do for all law enforcement is they interview the kids that have been abused. A specialized interviewer and environment. It's really a great family-friendly, supportive environment, and I know Pat's been involved on the board as well, so I'm glad to hear that you're taking over, and it's a good program, so come up and buy stuff. I think I probably will.
Yes.
I'll do that
I
before I
love
leave.
it. Yes.
Anyway, so, alrighty, well, got a few things for you. I'm joined by Troy Brightbill, our Chief Criminal Deputy. He's going to talk here in a little bit. He oversees our patrol division and our detectives, so he gets to do all the fun stuff. He gets to go out and play, and I'm kind of stuck in the office doing other stuff. So I'm going to start out and just have a brief overview of the sheriff's office and some things we have going currently. And then after that, Pat asked for some stats. So I'm going to try not to bore you, but we'll have some statistics for you just to help Pat out. And I'm going to see if the clicker that Hal gave me works here. We'll see. Hey, look at that. That works. Okay. Yeah. One of the new things we have going in the region is we have a new law enforcement academy down in Vancouver. So it opened up in January, and there's now 3 throughout the state. In addition, had one in the Seattle area that's where pretty much everybody went. Spokane ran 2 a year over there for East Side folks, but there really was a push to try to get training localized and regional for folks, because it takes 5 months for people to go through the academy, and that's a big ask for a lot of people wanting to get into law enforcement, to be away from home, kids, family obligations. So by having one localized in Vancouver, folks in our region can actually commute daily down there and still have a semblance of family life, keep things together at home. And they also go 4 days a week too, which also helps. So that's been a great advantage for us to have a academy close by. The first class started in January, and we had 2 deputies go through, along with Longview and Kelso. I'm not sure of the numbers. They just finished the second class here a few weeks back, and Longview and Kelso each had 3 officers each go through there locally. So it's really helping with recruiting and doing well. One thing they did this summer as part of the academy down there, they're leasing it used to be an elementary school down in southeast Vancouver, and they named one of the classrooms for Justin DeRozier. So some of us in the family went down, and they had a dedication ceremony, and they had a plaque in the room, and his mom, dad, and his wife, daughter Lily, and his sister, and her husband, James Kelly, who's a Vancouver sergeant, were all there. And it was an honor for, another honor for Justin down there to be permanently remembered at the training academy. Along the same line here, last April we dedicated a stretch of West Side Highway from in front of the Hall of Justice up to Four Corners as a Justin DeRozier, I went too far, Justin DeRozier Memorial Highway. That was done by, with the help of Senator Jeff Wilson and Representative Ed Orcutt, pushed that through the legislature, and the family and I went up, actually went up a couple times to speak to the legislature and the Traffic Commission to make that happen. So again, that's another permanent honor for Justin, and it's appropriate that it starts in front of the Hall of Justice where he worked and goes up to Castle Rock along West Side Highway. The family still lives along there, the other side of the river, Pleasant Hill, and also real close to where he lived, and a lot of his family has a lot of history. So that's new and exciting. Something else that's new, I don't know if it's exciting, but we had to take over animal control at the first of the year in January. So we has a mind of its own. Anyway, we jumped into that. We were able to hire 2 animal control officers from the Humane Society, bring them on board. With cooperation of the jail, we've established a temporary holding facility over there. Humane Society was charged us $300 an animal, so by doing this, about half the animals we come in contact with, we're able to take here and get them returned home in a short-term basis and not incur that expense. So I think they've handled saw the other day 185 animals this year so far, and close to, I think we took a few months to get this up and going. We're running at least 50% are returned home and saving some money, and so we have our own animal shelter over at the side yard of the jail. So this is another program we have. Pacific Corps up the Lewis River, they fund us for a full-time deputy position up there year-round, and they also hire us on the weekends up there to roam the campgrounds in the summer. Those are real popular up there, and get several thousand people in there on a weekend, and so we have a good partnership with them. And this is, as of yesterday, this is no longer accurate. Our Deputy Hanbury's done it for a couple of years. He is transferring out, and we have a new deputy that took over as of yesterday, but it's a great partnership we have and a good program we have with Pacific Corps and serving the Lewis River Valley. Another program we have here that goes back 2 or 3 years, we have a deputy that's assigned to the Public Works Road Department, and then Mark Kelch, he was working over there. Do you want to take going to take credit for that, the program?
I've been retired 3 years, so he's been there at least 4.
At least 4, so okay. Yeah, it's a good program. They assist the road department with, sometimes they have problems with certain residents aren't happy with some of their activities, and also they deal with like motorhomes, boats, garbage being dumped and other things like that, just kind of nuisance things. So that's primarily funded by the road department out of their funds. So they got lots of money, so they hire a deputy for us, and that's a good thing for us. Gives us it gets to some of those lower level things that otherwise we probably wouldn't get to, but he does that. And one of the big things is like Hulk permits. People have junk vehicles, he'll go out and give permits so those people can get those cleared out and recycled. We started a behavioral health unit here, and that's been in place here about going on, I think, about 2.5 years. We have two folks that work in that program for us. That's one of them, and that's was funded by the mental health tax. So I'm not plugging yes or no on anything that's on the ballot anyway, but they are funded from that program, and they're there to assist our officers and deal with some of the chronic folks we deal with, and the whole intent's to keep these people out of the jail and out of the emergency room, and hopefully get them pointed in the right direction to resources and live a productive life, so we don't have to utilize other resources for them. We started this a couple of years ago. The peer support team, along with the chaplaincy, helped support that. We got a grant from the local healthcare foundation to kind of finance the selection and training of these folks, and they're available to serve their fellow deputies and staff members with any issues they're having, whether it's professional or personal. And the state also funded an app that we have that they all have access to, and that provides access to counselors and various online programs for whether it's substance abuse, gambling, marital issues. And I guess the number one thing on there that people really like to use, there's like sleep sounds available on this app. So people can set sleep sounds, and that's the number one thing that people are using that for. So law enforcement range, the county established a public range up north of Castle Rock here. I think that's going on, 8-10 years. George is probably involved in some of that or knows a little bit about that. And part of that, the long-term plan was to have a law enforcement range beside it, and that's come to fruition here over the last couple of years. Here's a picture of it. We're able to use that now. Previously, we used some forest land originally belonged by Longview Fiber owned it and allowed us to have that. Now it's transferred to Weyerhaeuser, and we still have access, but access to it was kind of limited at times due to fire season or the road washing out and that sort of thing. This is a lot more accessible and convenient for us, and allows us to do a lot more things. We actually have electricity there and access to bathrooms, so that's a nice thing. So. And we also have access to the truck stop up there for lunch too, which is kind of nice. So we do have a reserve program. Reserve programs have been going away, throughout law enforcement due to cost and the training requirements. But we still have 8 reserve deputies that help us out. You see them, their most prominent roles. They do security over at the fairgrounds. They also county pays them for that. That's one of their big fundraising things they do, and they're really self-supporting, but we appreciate the support and help we get from those folks. Search and rescue, we have probably close to 100 volunteers. We have the main search and rescue group, we have a dive team, we have an amateur radio and / drone team that they're available to help out primarily during searches for lost people, and they also come out for evidence searches on serious crimes. We have them come out and they beat the brush. In some cases, they bring out the weed eaters and they put the brush down on the ground and clear things land for us. And we're searching for evidence on major cases. So that's a great programs that we have to help us out and help us do our jobs. There's some things we do throughout the year, just interact with the community on a more personal basis. One's National Night Out in August. Another one's Shop with a Cop around Christmas time. Walmart helps fund that and do that with the chaplaincy and Castle Rock Place. We'll go out to Walmart and get about 20 kids. They get about $150 each to go around and shop for their family members and themselves. So it's a good time. Also do some partnership with the Special Olympics, various programs they have. It's like a polar plunge, and kind of we send them off and escort them to their various events they do around the state. So recently they had I think a volleyball tournament, and some of our officers went over and played volleyball with the Special Olympians, so enjoy that. And also at Halloween time, we go down the lake and hand out candy there, so enjoy doing that. Alrighty, now comes the stats. Just I want to mention, there's just shy of 8 million people in our state. It's like 7,951,000 citizens that we have in the state, and we have about 10,700 commissioned police officers. So, what does that mean? The reality is our state, including the District of Columbia, is 51st in the number of officers per capita. We're last in the number of officers per capita across the country. So that's something we've been pushing for, trying to get additional funding for it, but we're substantially behind the rest of the country in the number of officers. So having said that, I think we're still doing a good job and doing the best we can. There's definitely a push to get more officers out on the street, and people in Olympia haven't exactly been on our side the last few years in a lot of ways, but that's one thing we're pushing for. And every year, where we keep stats and submit stats through the state and to the FBI, and they issue a report card every year. It comes out in June for the prior year. So the numbers we have is for 2023 right now. And this is just to break down. Crimes against property are about 73%. Crimes against people are 22%. And then the other ones, the crimes against society, that's where there's really no victim of a crime. We have animal cruelty, drug possession, gambling, pornography, prostitution, and weapon law violations. So that's the crimes against society. That's kind of the breakdown of what we have there. This is just various stats on crimes. Just one, I guess, of note is murder. There's one every 23.3 hours. So essentially one a day, there's a murder in the state of Washington.
We thank Seattle for that, right?
Primarily, yeah. Though, we have them here as well. I mean,
Not every 23.
We're catching
no,
up.
no. Actually, it's kind of unique, but Kelso had 2 separate incidents here about 3 months ago, and within 24 hours they had 2, which was unusual, but it's kind of like lightning. You never know when it's going to happen or when it's going to strike, but that does happen. That's kind of a breakdown. This is a 5-year history. I think it's kind of exaggerated. It's really not all that big a swing, but notice it in 2022, things shot up. I think that's when kind of the end of COVID, people were getting restless and came out and they started committing a lot of crimes in 2022, but 2023 it back down to more to normal for us. So the big thing here, they break it down by agency, the sheriff's office and all the police departments in the county, and they track 34 different categories of crime. And I don't want to go into a whole lot of detail on that, but the big thing here for us, they rate things crime per thousand of residents. So we're at 23.9. So essentially 24 of these crimes per thousand residents. And our neighbors, Clark County, is at 29.9. So you're not as safe in Clark County. Then our friends in Lewis County are at 25.6. They're pretty close to where we are. And you'll see that the sheriff's offices are going to be low. I'll show our cities here. Longview is at 83.6 per thousand. Kelso is at 101 per thousand. Kalama is 45 per thousand. Castle Rock is 30.9. And then Woodland is 70 per thousand. So a lot of the reason for that is your cities are going to have higher crime rates. People are live closer together, and that creates more problems, more opportunities for tension and things that happen. And they also have the retail and banking sectors, which generate quite a bit of crime reporting. Woodland, for example, I don't know what the numbers on that, but since they got a Walmart that went in down there, it seems like they're just about constantly at Walmart, and I know it's probably driving maybe close to half their calls for service. So I hope they're getting a lot of tax money from that. But they are. I did want to point out one thing. One thing Pat wanted to know was about drug possession charges. And I don't know if you followed that over the few years. Basically, there was a Supreme Court ruling that essentially made the possession law illegal. The legislature came in instead of a felony and made it a misdemeanor, and put some provisions on that we had to give a couple warnings prior to citing them. So for about a year, we basically didn't really have a workable drug possession law. That changed back in August of 2023. Excuse me. Okay. So it came back as a gross misdemeanor, so a little bit more serious. And I wanted to point out, I know Longview Police have been really hitting that hard. So we have stats for 2022 and 2023, and 2023 is only about a third of the year, but their drug violations went there from like 109 to 300, and I believe it's 45. So it really shot up. 385?
Oh, it's easier to read on this screen.
And Kelso was another one. They went from 29 to 84 on that. So we do have a workable drug law. Instead of giving the 2 warnings like we had to do for a while, you can actually arrest them. And I know Longview and Kelso have been hitting that pretty hard. I guess the impact of that, however, is as a misdemeanor, the city is responsible for paying for prosecution, public defenders, and jail time for these misdemeanors. And misdemeanors, it means you can be sentenced up to a year in jail. If it's over a year, you go to prison, but with a misdemeanor, nobody's going to prison. So it used to be that the state would get a lot of these felons and be responsible for the prosecution, public defense, and paying the jail bill. That's not the case now that it's a misdemeanor. I know Longview, they're having some budget issues, and part of that is because of their aggressive stance on the drug possession laws, and they have to pay for that. Same thing with all the other cities. With the county, it doesn't affect us as a county agency, us and the state agencies. We don't have to, there's no charge associated with the prosecution, public defense, or incarceration. It's covered through the county budget and the state funds as well. But it is a big impact, unfunded mandate, basically shifting the burden to the cities as far as the new drug possession law goes. And part of that too, back when it was outlawed, they kind of opened up the prison gates. COVID was going on as well as an excuse, but the jail population, or prison population in the state's dropped a bunch. And also our local DOC, who supervises people on felony probation, their caseloads dropped about in half. So the result of that is there's a lot of bad people that otherwise were in jail or prison or not. They're out there floating around. And the nice thing about drug charges, if they're locked up in jail for whatever reason, they're not committing other crimes. And kind of thing that I found kind of interesting with the drug culture there, that people, a lot of the drug arrests would be based on shoplifting or traffic stops. So people go into shoplift and do a misdemeanor shoplift, but they're carrying felony drugs with them, so they'd get a felony out of the deal because they had drugs on board. Same thing with like driving while suspended, a misdemeanor, but a lot of times we'd get drugs off them as well for that, which is kind of interesting, but we don't have that. It's been taken away from us now, the felony aspect of it, and we're just dealing with misdemeanors now, and that the penalty is a lot less for that, and a lot of bad people that otherwise have been locked up or out running around out there. And not to say, I mean, people deserve a chance and treatment, big supporter of drug court, but the reality is we had a lot of people out there that previously would have been locked up, and we're seeing that. I know talking with the coroner here recently, we're ahead of last year on fentanyl overdoses. I think set a record last year, and we're already ahead to beat that this year. So a lot of people are dying because of that. And I think that's all I had for my part. And then Troy has his own PowerPoint he's going to do.
Almost there.
I think I'll walk around so I can read what I wrote.
That's Corey.
Come on, Al.
All set, but then,
You can do it, Al.
the gun set itself.
You can do it, Al.
You never know.
Yeah. That was the problem.
I had full faith in you.
Sorry if I'm a little loud. I usually don't need one of these. I'm Troy Brightville. I am the Chief Criminal Deputy for the Sheriff's Office, and I oversee operations. That includes our patrol divisions and our investigations and many other parts of our office. But what I want to talk about today is our patrol division. Our patrol division consists of 4 teams. We have 2 day shift and 2 night shift teams. They have staggered shifts. based on our call load so that we can provide 24-hour coverage. Each patrol team consists of a sergeant and 6 deputies at full staffing. The county is divided into 5 patrol areas for them, with 1 deputy to each area. We have another deputy that is assigned as a cover deputy, and they can assist with priority calls or cover vacant areas. And that's something that's new to us, that 7th deputy. We got some extra funding approved for those positions in the last year or 2. Our patrol schedule has 12 training days built into each year for each patrol team, and deputies may receive additional specialized training throughout the year. They work 10.5-hour shifts. They rotate from Monday through Thursday 1 month, and then they'll work Thursday through Sunday the next. After about 4 months, the day and night shift teams will switch. And it's a very popular schedule. It's pretty fair. You don't get stuck working graveyards for your first 10 years, so deputies tend to like it. Many deputies have collateral duties such as SWAT, field training deputy, crisis negotiator, boat operator, drone operator, and canine handler. This is our retired canine Chris posing here. And I also have some other duties. One of these duties is the boat here. That is a drone picture of us using a John boat to arrest one of Brad's old friends after he was doing some bad things.
Yeah.
Well, as I like to say, patrol is the heart and soul of the sheriff's office. They handle everything from traffic issues to violent felony crimes. They are the first to respond to major incidents, and the groundwork laid in those initial responses is very important to detectives in their follow-up investigation. At the sheriff's office, we receive somewhere in the neighborhood of 30,000 calls for service every year. The bulk of those are handled by patrol deputies. Our patrol deputies serve as patrol investigators. They interview witnesses, process crime scenes, and obtain search warrants to help solve crimes. This is different than a lot of city police agencies where the patrol officer will take an initial call and then all follow-up will be sent to a detective or someone else to do. Ours actually have quite a lot of skin in the game, and they get a lot of good investigation experience. Our patrol deputies also take the initial report on crimes against children, and when a child is in imminent danger, they'll work to have the child placed in a safe environment. The follow-up with that is with CJAC, the forensic interviews with our detectives, so that is a very good organization to support. Our patrol deputies also respond to natural disasters and other major incidents. One of my fondest memories is driving around evacuating South Kelso when we thought the dike was going to fail. That was a very strange day at work. No?
Nope.
That's okay. We have several drones at the sheriff's office. A lot of them are assigned to patrol deputies, and this one, if we let it go, you can actually see the dog's paw prints as he's walking. It is a very useful tool for us tracking down suspects.
Wow.
It's just one of those things where our capabilities have increased greatly. I'll just go to the next slide. That's okay. Our patrol deputies are also first responders for school incidents. We routinely do what we call school safety checks, where we just have the deputies stop in and check on the schools in their area when they're in session. And they'll check in with the front office, and they'll do a quick walkthrough. Occasionally, we'll get to interact with some kids. We try not to be a distraction, but catch them on recess like I did at Lexington. I got fist pumped by about 100 different kids. They're all really happy to see us. And the staff are glad to see us, the parents are glad to see us. It's a problem that was, it's a program that was started maybe a decade or so ago, and it's been very well received by the schools. And during the summer months, when school is not in session, we use a school or two every summer, and we'll have our patrol teams do training for active shooter scenarios. So we can come in and we can practice those tactics that are very unique to large schools, large or small. They're very different layouts than the homes and businesses we typically deal with.
That's your Lexington.
Lexington is a huge school. I had to throw this in because this is just the coolest picture. That plane broke down in the Columbia River, and some of our guys got called in, got a boat, and they towed it back.
Right on.
Other than that, I don't really have a point about that. I just have to share the picture. And then one last thing for our patrol division is we have our reserve deputy program, as the sheriff showed you that slide earlier. And they supplement our patrol. They can work 2 deputy patrols, either 2 reserves working together, or they'll ride as a second deputy with a full-time deputy. They often provide event security, such as at the fairgrounds, but also if we get a school that says, hey, we need some security for a football game. We had that recently. And they also help on search and rescue missions. They have some unique tools and resources available to them. This is a side-by-side, and if you can see right there, it has tracks on it. So its capability is year-round. It can go up in deep snow. It can go out in sand, and I know this video isn't going to work. I'm going to try anyway.
I don't know why you put a video there.
Yep, that's okay. This is one of those, it's a short video. I was riding with our reserve chief, Brent Courtney. Came in on his own time. All these guys are volunteers. We had a person that was injured. I believe they rolled their ATV. And they were in a tough spot to get to. It was very steep. We couldn't get a vehicle down to her. Trying to walk her up, the steep hillside was not a great option. And we brought out this piece of hardware. And we were able to ferry some of the EMS workers up with us. And we were able to get that patient out of there, get her on a backboard, and get her up to the ambulance. So this is one of those job variety days where we get to do cool stuff that you just can't, you don't see it coming, but it definitely makes the job a lot more fun to get to do these other opportunities. And this is one of the things that our reserve deputies have, is they have this side-by-side. They also have a couple snowmobiles, so they are out there to help us with whatever we need, and oftentimes helping our search and rescue team as well. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
I'm going to say 2 things. One, tonight at 6 o'clock at Kelso City Council, they're going to swear in a new Chief of Police, Rich Fletcher. So that's kind of a big deal. So if you want to show up and do that, that'd be great. He's been around a long time. He's a good guy, Kelso kid. And also, the second thing I forgot to mention is last Friday we hired a young man. His name's Leif Ingebo. Local kid. His dad's Doug Ingebo, mom's Candy Ingebo. You might know those folks. But he graduated from Kelso, went in the Army for 9 years, and got hired at Bellingham Police. Been up there for a year, but he wanted to come home. Mom and Dad wanted him home, and I think there was a girlfriend down here too, which helped. The big thing about that is, that we're fully hired up. We have no openings, which is kind of unique. And my 6 years as sheriff, we've been fully hired twice. Once was for 2 weeks, and once was for 2 days. So we're doing on. I think we're on about a 4-day streak here. We hope to keep that going. But we actually have noticed that, the job market tightening up. We're getting a lot of applicants, but we're fully hired up, and going to actually swearing him in today. So that's great news for us, and I think for the citizens as well. So thanks.
Yes. Well, we can't thank you two enough for coming today to give us that information. I'd like to present you with our Longview Pioneer Lions mug, and Troy, next time you're in my office, you can steal one if you want. We just grabbed one, but thank you for visiting us today. Great information. I'm going to just go through and read some of these announcements unless I have a name with no specifics to it. Hal Palmer was going to talk about the Culture of Growth Summit, the 19N. That is November 16th, 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. here at the Eagles. Castle Rock Christmas, so make sure you're marking your calendars. Castle Rock Christmas is December 7th, noon setup. at, where are we meeting for that, Leroy, do you know? We're not sure where we're meeting yet, but we have some time to figure that out. Breakfast with Santa is December 14th, set up at 6:30 a.m. That has a little time to it too. The new training schedule is out on the MD19 website. That is lionsmd19.org is the website, and there's training on there. So if you're ever interested in getting some more information, go to that training schedule and get all smarted up. We also have a jumbo toy run, which I have sign-up sheets for, but didn't get those out. Jumbo toy run, we, as you know, are, it's not like it used to. This is the first year it was taken over by the N-Cage Cycles. So they're calling it the Jumbo Toy Run 2.0, but we would still like to do the traffic control. So I'll send an email out. Maybe we can do just a sign up, Jeannie, on that. Make sure you sign up. It's the Sunday after Thanksgiving. So this year it's December 1st. Always we'll meet at noon at the Kelso Elks. And that's a quick event, and it's very rewarding. It's a lot of fun. Karen, you want to talk really quick about, I just have a work party.
A work party at the Longview School Garden there at North Lake School on Friday, November 15th from 10 a.m. till noon. And I have a sign-up sheet over there on the clipboard if anybody wants to add their name to it. Thanks a lot.
And then how about Cindy's sessions?
President Carrie Ann Lines, I guess, I got a call this week from Barry Jr., and I'd like you to mark your calendars for November 11th. That will be Ruth Morrow's 90th birthday.
Oh, wow.
It will be at the Longview Women's Club, 835 21st Avenue in Longview, like I said, 5 to 8. They've requested no gifts, and it's just an open house kind of a thing. If you need to call me about getting the specifics, please reach out.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Cindy. I'm going to pass it on over to Pat real quick.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, last time you'll hear from me today, Lion Health Homer, will you come forward? Gosh, you like it and you know it. Here is a check from all of the members of this club and their wonderful support of our good friends Walt Speck and Jim Reineke for LCIF.
Awesome.
$750.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Thank you. Board meeting, November 14th, 8 a.m. at Life Mortgage. That's just right around the corner. And then we've got our evening meeting that we're doing once a month, which is the following weekend. So board meeting always is the second Thursday. Evening meeting is always the third Thursday. So that's November 21st, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Ashtown.